We all make choices. But in the end, our choices make us. So choose wisely. Subscribe to It's Erik Nagel wherever podcasts are found. And leave a positive review, won't you kindly?
It's Erik Nagel. It starts now.
What up, my Nagel? 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 Talking about George R.R. Martin, not writing. Talking Marvel vs. DC, who's more exciting? Talking George Lucas's legacy, high-scoring centipede. Talking Gittles' new beef burrito recipe. Talking about Stephanie McMahon versus Sable. Talking about the Cybermen versus the Weeping Angels. Don't blink, the dialect's more deadly than you think. Talking summer ale, blueberry pale, craft beer, pouring drinks. What up, my Nagel? Deadpool 2 features Cable. Talking Funko Pop, celebrity signed a label. Talking online gaming, bitchin' ain't complaining. Talking E-Rock, kissing the feet of Matt Groening. Warner Brothers properties, Superman's a mockery. Weird Al conscious, Kevin Smith's debauchery. Rick and Morty fun zone. The Lego build team, can I have your attention? Possible Donkey Kong kill screen. What up, my Nagel? What up, my Nagel? What up, my Nagel? What up, my Nagel?
Ladies and gentlemen of the universe, the next voice you hear.
It's Erik Nagel.
So it makes me eat. Stupid.
What makes you eat?
Gordon Ramsay, bastard. He holds you down and forces food down your throat.
Down your
that's
gullet.
The whole time
No,
he's
that's
just
the Gordon's
berating me.
That is the Gordon's fisherman. He does it too.
Especially into the gullet. Like, that sounds really like on a boat.
With that note, welcome to It's Erik Nagel. That is me. To my right is Matt OG.
Hello.
Over in the upside down is Gittles.
What up?
And our producer over there, Trevor Endeavor. We're
I
all
hate
here.
that. I just want to go on the record as saying I hate Trevor Endeavor.
Thank you.
You want to kill the
I don't
Endeavor?
like it either.
I think it's like one of the best names Eric
Ever?
has ever come up with. Yeah.
It's like, I feel like in the great list of names, it's like Grape Ape, like Magilla Gorilla, Trevor Endeavor. Like that's the list.
Yeah.
Because those two names are also equally terrible.
Considering my other nickname at work, I'll take something that's at least part of my birth name.
All right.
All right,
He
we
was
can drop
Kid Gorgeous, then he was Kid Presentable, and finally Kid Mo.
What was the first? The first thing you called me, I don't even know. You were like, "I'm going to call you this." What do you think? I'm like, "Well, I don't know what it is." So
Yeah.
I don't remember
something
what it
out
was,
of
so-
Castlevania. I think.
Oh, Trevor Belmont.
Well, Trevor Belmont at least is cool.
Yeah.
Except if we call you Trevor Belmont, you have to show up in like a puffy pirate shirt with a whip each week. That's the only thing.
I only have one of those in the dry cleaning.
All right, so do you want to be Trevor Belmont from now
No,
on?
I don't care. I just like the fact that I get called Trevor from time to time.
All right, we'll just call you Trevor.
Can we just call you Trevs and Devs?
No, I'm
right, Trevs and
vetoing.
Devs.
I'm vetoing in devs.
Yeah,
What if we call you Trevor?
you're getting him excited about calling me something.
What if we call you Trevor
Trev
Endeavor Esquire?
Ooh. I don't know. I
No?
feel like I can have a monocle.
Okay.
No.
I like Trev Dever.
Trev Dever.
Trev
Yeah,
Dever.
Trev Dever.
Trev Dever sounds like a jock that you want to just kick in the balls repeatedly at school. I'm
yeah.
just saying.
I mean, I was a varsity football player.
What if we
There you
open
go.
it up to the audience and let them to figure out what to call you?
Never a good idea.
Yeah, I think that's a
That
good
sounds
idea.
like a terrible
Trevs and
idea.
Devs.
Feel free to tweet. Feel free to tweet at It's Erik Nagel on Twitter. There, if you think Trevor should have a better name than Trevor Endeavor. And then
Next week we go to the polls. So we got Matt OG, Gittles, and Shit Dick. Like, how did that happen? How did that happen?
How did
You could've went with
Russia
Trevs
ruin
and
this?
And Bodie McBoatface. Fuck!
Yeah. God damn it. Yes, Trevor McTrevface.
There you go.
Thanks, Obama.
And time. That's how far we went into the episode before Matt got political.
Welcome to the program, everybody. Lots going on today's show. Segment 2 is going to be busy. Lots of news with television and movies. We'll have to start off with Ready Player One, since that was the big movie this weekend. Was number one at the box office.
Unseating Pacific Rim from last week.
Right.
What do you know?
Pacific Rim. I still haven't seen it yet, but doesn't seem it's going to have much longevity. The money is just kind of everyone saw it.
Friday.
Who wanted to see it, and then
Ready Player One?
No, for Pacific Rim.
Yeah,
Isn't it on DVD already?
It's getting there. Ready Player One might hold the same fate. I'm not 100% sure. So the movie came out. The money was good. I don't know how it'll do this weekend.
They've already announced the sequel too, haven't they?
Yeah, Ready Player 2?
They announced that before the movie even came out. Big deal comes out. I saw it. Giddles, you saw it, right?
I did not see it.
You did not? I thought you did.
Oh, I thought you saw it too.
No,
I saw it.
I was gonna go see it, but the Movie Pass, I can't use it in the first week when it comes out, so I'm waiting.
Trevor saw it.
I saw it.
Matt did not see it.
And not for lack of wanting to see it. I legitimately just haven't had time to go to a movie theater.
Then should we wait then? Should we wait till next week?
I've read the book. What are you going to say in the movie?
There's
There's a big difference between the book and the movie.
Yeah, I went with a group there, and three of us. So one who read the book, one who read the book, and me who did not read the book.
Yeah.
But three different takes on it. As a
Okay.
standalone movie, I thought it was awesome. I'd go see it again.
Right.
One person was able to decipher the two. He understood why they couldn't
Yeah.
fit everything from the book in.
Right.
And the other one just fucking hated it.
Because it wasn't exactly like the book.
Yeah.
But it's
It just-
never exactly like the book.
Right.
No, but like apparently a good chunk of the movie
Yeah.
is completely different. Like it doesn't even make mention of it, and it's because I think of licensing, it's just completely different.
But that makes sense too.
and they didn't even
Yeah, that
try
makes
to
sense.
they didn't even try to adapt it in the same way. They just came up with a whole new part.
What was
Was it the Pac-Man stuff?
No, apparently it was the
Was it
Monty
the war
Python
game?
stuff.
Oh, okay.
No, Monty Python was in. Well, it was represented.
It
in
was
the movie.
represented, but it wasn't. Apparently, there's a whole. I don't know. I didn't read
Yeah,
the book.
there's a thing about Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
Yes.
but I think they just cut it down for time.
I also think
For that piece, because the holy hand grenade is mentioned a few times and used in the movie.
And because of the movie, I already bought the Holy Hand Grenade shirt that came out. So
I just think that anybody going into this movie not understanding the logistical nightmare of trying to maintain it 100% to the book
Right.
was just setting themselves up to be disappointed. Like you had to know going in that just logistically there were going to have to be changes made.
Right.
Like there's just no way around it. There's,
Yeah.
There are too many properties
yeah, I mean, I got it.
to not do it. I mean, it's just a logistical nightmare.
They made changes.
Yeah.
One change. See, I don't know if we should really talk about this because it may ruin stuff for Giddles. It may ruin stuff for you.
It won't ruin
There
it
was
for me.
stuff- there was stuff-
I
there's
honestly don't
stuff that
care.
I had heard that like kind of annoyed me about the movie, about like nostalgia doing things that nostalgia wasn't supposed to do.
Right.
Like
Yeah, if we're gonna
characters
spend
like
the whole
out
time
of
tiptoeing
context.
around it, though. I don't.
Wait, hold on.
Oh,
a
you're
second.
talking about the Iron Giant stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
okay.
that kind of like when I like someone told me about that and it made me like instantly angry.
But so
We can address that.
But here's, I haven't seen it, right? So I'm going to try to defend it based on what I've read
Yeah.
and what I know.
Okay.
I can only assume, right, that you are seeing a physical representation of Iron Giant.
Right.
You are not seeing Iron Giant,
Correct.
right? You are not seeing Iron Giant from the movie.
Right.
You're seeing someone who is portraying Iron Giant.
No.
As their avatar,
No.
right? Or it's a computer generated
No.
avatar.
It's not an avatar. It's an item. It's a purchasable item.
Right.
That they're using in the game.
Okay.
It's
But-
being
It's
used
a
as
microtransaction.
it's being used as a weapon.
Right. But
Yeah.
what I
It's
mean
rare.
is what I mean is that the issue with the Iron Giant is, you know, the Iron Giant at the end of the Iron Giant decides that he doesn't want to be a weapon of war. Right. He makes that decision. But prior to that, he was developed to be a weapon of war.
Correct.
So if you're purchasing the Iron Giant, he still has all that functional
Right.
and all that. He still has all those capabilities. I could understand why you would be upset, but the flip side of that coin is, but you are using an item that does have those abilities, and if you choose to use it that way, can't you?
Yeah, you
I don't
can.
know.
But that's
You can.
again. I'm trying not to give it away.
Give
Go
it
ahead.
away.
All
For
right.
me, I don't care. If
All right,
Giddles,
but the
if
thing
Giddles
is-
cares, that's up to him. I don't care.
So yeah, you're right. He's a weapon, but they don't represent him as a weapon. They more or less just use him because he is an Iron Giant. Like that's why he's such a big deal in that scene. It's like holy shit, there's an Iron Giant. Like, and it's just kicking people around and smashing things. He doesn't turn into the weapon.
No, but that's using him as a weapon.
No,
is where
right.
people got upset.
Right.
He's being used as
as a
to-
weapon, he's being
to
used
fight.
to
He's being
fight,
used
as opposed to being
He's
peaceful.
shooting lasers from his eyes to destroy things. He's being used as a weapon. Where in the movie, like Matt, the original Iron Giant story, like Matt was saying, he was built to be that way, had developed consciousness,
Right, he had his
and
crisis
didn't want to
of
be
faith, yeah.
that, and actually gave himself up. the end of
he
Iron
sacrifices
Giant,
himself.
He flies into the sky, hits a rocket or a missile or something that was coming to kill them,
to save the kid and the rest of the people.
He sacrifices himself because he didn't want to be a weapon used to hurt people, and he didn't want that to hurt him either.
So if somehow you were watching the actual Iron Giant in the movie and he was doing something out of character, I get that. But you're not watching the actual Iron.
No, you're just watching. Like, somebody had the robot, and they used the robot how they wanted.
It's just
to
like
use
when they were driving the DeLorean in the movie. Like we would never expect it to actually do the maneuvers that it was doing.
Right.
I kind of would though.
I mean,
I mean, like, why would you drive the DeLorean then if you couldn't do those maneuvers? Why not just take any car?
Right.
Because there are people who. So this is how I think of it. There are people who in 2018 in the United States of America who have DeLoreans, not just DeLoreans, who have DeLoreans. They have modified them to have the flux capacitor and the Back to the Future,
the Mr. Coffee in the back,
all that stuff, right? Yeah. And none of it is functional. But you could say I'm driving the DeLorean.
You say none of it's functional, but you haven't actually tried one out with the Mr. Fusion,
right? So I'm thinking to myself, in any video game where you you get some sort of vehicle, it doesn't like. There are other games. There's another game. Is it Grand Theft Auto? There was a game where you could actually get a DeLorean. And it doesn't travel through time. It just looks like the DeLorean.
No, Grand Theft Auto had the updates.
Had like the Tron bike and shit like that, right?
They're all called different names, but you know what it is.
But you know what they are. So, but that's what I mean. Yeah. So you're not getting the DeLorean. You're getting something that looks like the DeLorean. And within the confines of a game, since that's what the Oasis is, there is logic behind that. Granted, it doesn't do all the things you want it to do because you want it to do the things from Back to the Future, but you have to realize that in the game, it's a skin, right? It's a programmer who took the Oasis's vehicle element and skinned it to be a DeLorean.
Right.
But like in Back to the Future 2, the car flies.
Right.
But it actually has to like take off and launch, and then it can zoom around.
Right.
In the Oasis, it drives and then can all of a sudden just with a flip of a switch turn to gliding and like drift underneath the car.
Because the wheels go like that and it's hovering.
So then it's hovering. So it's things that like, that would be really cool if the original DeLorean could do that. So it makes sense for 2050, like what they're in now. But
modifications, right?
But anyway, I don't know.
Even though the DeLorean, you saw it in the trailer, and then when you see how it's used in the movie, wasn't that impressive. I mean, it was cool. It's like, there's the DeLorean, but I wasn't freaking out like, oh my god, there's the DeLorean. I wasn't freaking out about anything in that movie where you're like, oh my god, that character made an appearance or this thing happened. With one exception, there was a scenario that kind of excited me, but everything else I was just like, oh well, there's Freddy, there's Jason, because they were gone in a heartbeat because they were in the midst of a battle, a sandbox world where they were fighting. So you'd see Freddy jumping up, and all of a sudden somebody shot Freddy. He turns into coins. Same thing with Jason.
Yeah.
Q-Bert, all the other stuff that you saw in there. They all the second you saw them, they were killed off or moved off the screen. It's impossible to watch the movie and appreciate all the stuff that makes appearances in there because it's too fast and you don't see almost all of it. So, and I don't want to like when that movie comes out. I'm not going to sit there and go frame by frame trying to see all the stuff hidden in it.
And why would you? Because it doesn't have the kind of impact. It doesn't have the impact that you might expect it to have.
I'll tell you one thing that I got excited about outside of a scenario. Okay. They were going H's bunker.
Yeah.
Right? They just met Artemis, and they were going back to his bunker so he could repair her bike.
Right?
Now, everybody in the theater, when I went to see it, was freaking out about this bike. I don't know what it is. It's from some anime thing.
Yeah, it's Akira's bike. It's Tetsuo's bike from Akira.
All right, well, I don't know
It's the red motorcycle, right? Yeah, it's
with the green tire or something like that.
Yeah.
Right.
It's awesome
So
bike.
people were freaking out about that. They're walking into the facility. Very dark in the back on the side there.
Yeah.
You could see is Pee-wee's bike. That one I freaked out. I was like, oh my god, it's Pee-wee's bike.
But again, so you have to think about all those little things, really cool, and in the context of the game and in the movie, there's someone in the game that bought Pee-wee's bike for whatever it might be. And I read friend of the show, I read Christie's review of Ready Player One.
Christy Bochco,
and she had a lot of things, and she talked about it, and she tried to compare. I believe it was her review, so I might be misquoting, and I don't want to do that. It might have been. I think it was her
review was up on Sci-Fi Wire.
I don't know. I saw it on her Facebook page. Okay. But anyway, I think she was talking about how the characters in Ready Player One, and Q-Bert was one of the ones she mentioned, how he was used differently than he would have been used in a game in a movie like Wreck-It Ralph. But in Wreck-It Ralph, you're actually seeing Qbert.
Yeah, you see
Okay.
Qbert,
Right?
you see
As Qbert is intended to be
As
seen.
Qbert.
Yeah.
Right? Because Wreck-It Ralph, when they go into the world behind the video games, those are the characters.
Yeah.
You're not seeing someone that looks like Qbert. You're seeing Qbert. You're seeing Donkey Kong.
So
you're
like-
seeing...
Okay.
You're seeing Ralph.
Right.
You're seeing the actual characters as opposed to someone who's an avatar. So think about it this way: you're playing an MMORPG, and you have a character, and you put on new armor, but the new armor doesn't actually do anything for your character other than it changes your physical appearance.
Right.
That's what the Oasis is.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Okay, well,
That was
so
a
I
really
guess,
good
like, For me,
explanation.
then it's like I guess I prefer more of like the Wreck-It Ralph type of nostalgia than where they are those kind of characters, as opposed to nostalgia of these are just your nostalgia skinned on characters.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like that feels weird to me.
So in the world of Wreck-It Ralph, I love Wreck-It Ralph. I'm super excited for the second one, Ralph Breaks the Internet. But in the world of Wreck-It Ralph, I think it made a lot of sense, and I think it worked really well. I think it could also work, and again, I haven't seen it, so I'm trying to go based on what I've read and what I know.
Everything you're saying makes sense.
But I think it could also work within the world of a movie like Ready Player One, as long as you understand what it is you're seeing. If you go into Ready Player One and see Tracer in the trailer and think that when you see the movie you're going to be meeting Tracer, then you're going to be disappointed when it's not Tracer.
Yeah, no,
right. You
that's it.
have to go in understanding that a lot of these characters that you see are someone's avatar.
Yeah, it's some squeaker who's dressed up
Exactly.
as Batman.
Exactly. It's like the scene in the club with Joker and Harley Quinn from the trailer. That's not Joker and Harley Quinn. That's a guy who picked to make himself look like Joker, and probably another guy who picked himself to make him look like.
So question
Harley
then, I
Quinn.
guess.
That's actually a part of it, yeah.
So for like the movie then, like if they didn't skin their characters like that, they could have just looked like us and it would be the same story, right?
Yeah. So for example, in the book, and again, I don't know the movie, but in the book, the lead characters. I don't think they're anybody. They have just their own avatars that they've created, and I don't think they're not pop culture icons. They're different than what they actually look like, which is part of the story.
Well, yeah,
but
like Artemis looks like she should be from Avatar.
Yeah,
right. But it's not based on a character from a movie. She kind of just
It's a
created
unique skin.
Correct.
When he's explaining the Oasis, he's like, "You could be anybody," and like he's walking, he's just like he has a mohawk and he hits a button, all of a sudden he's got long hair. Like it shows that he's just constantly changing.
It's
himself.
character creation.
Yeah,
yeah.
Well, that's the first complaint a lot of people had, where the characters didn't seem to be like Christie's thing. That's not how those characters originally are, and you're doing a disservice to this. But Matt makes a great point. They're just skins. They're for your avatar, for your vehicle, for all this stuff. They're just made to look like the things you like, not act like the things that you like.
I don't know if I like that.
Here's where I have a problem with this. The actual main characters of the movie are supposed to all be, like, in the Oasis, they value pop culture. Like, that's the thing.
Right.
But they don't really give a shit about pop culture. All the stuff that they're quizzing each other on, like, do you know this, do you know that, has nothing to do for their like of those properties. It's all based on the fact, like, when they were talking about GoldenEye, there was a scene in there where they're talking about the GoldenEye for the 64. Is that the real process?
Yeah.
So they're quizzing each other. It's
favorite character.
It's Parsifal and Artemis talking about favorite character. This. It's all based on what Halliday liked. So anything pop culture they talked about was because that's Halliday's favorite character in the game. Oh, that's Halliday's favorite movie. That's they have no like of any of the pop culture stuff unless it pertains to Halliday.
So
and that's what's unsettling.
My takeaway from that, even from reading the book, my takeaway from that is that we are far enough removed from certain things in 2050. Right. So you are far enough removed from, let's say, GoldenEye as your example. And so now you spend all of your time in the Oasis, and whether you want to think about it or not, it's just like any other game or any other social media, right, in general. What your experiences in that are partially altered or influenced by the developers, by the creators. So of course Halliday is going to put all his favorite things into the Oasis. He is the creator of the Oasis, right? And so by proxy, if you spend all of your time in the Oasis, your only exposure to some of these things are the things that Halliday has chosen to actually put into it.
Like if you loved Donkey Kong mode on GoldenEye and that's the only way you could play it, it's the only way you know what it is. Okay, I see what you're saying.
So you know what I mean? So Halliday, who's a big he's not going to put every nuance in there necessarily, but if something really rings true with him, he's the developer. Right. He's going to write that into the code.
He played Odd Job all the time, so you'd see
you're playing, even though the Oasis has grown to be this huge thing in the world,
right?
Essentially, you're playing Halliday's game. Halliday is Microsoft developing Halo. Halliday is Blizzard developing Warcraft.
Right.
Right? So you're playing Halliday's game. So it is everything in there to a certain degree is going to be influenced by the developer or the developers or the creative team.
Okay.
Just like anything else, any other game is.
But before the contest is before he dies, before the contest is announced, and now everybody's researching everything.
Sure.
Which at this point on from the movie, when they're researching, these were his favorite TV shows. These are the posters he had in his room growing up. Here's like all that, because there's a whole museum which is just a reference, like a reference desk to everything in his life.
Right.
While you're looking for the key, I get why they're studying his life, his interests, and all those things to find clues. But before all that, they were still the same. They were all into this dude, this one guy, and all the pop culture stuff they like was only because that guy liked it. Everybody in there was not because they liked it on their own.
No, but that's what I'm saying, though, because his thumbprint, Halliday's thumbprint, is all over the Oasis by proxy of him being the creator of the Oasis.
Right.
So, for example, if Halliday didn't like Asteroid and didn't put Asteroid...
Or a shitty version of it where no one would like it.
Right, but if he didn't like Asteroid or any game, pick a game. I just chose Asteroid. But if he didn't like Asteroid... Galaga.
Minesweeper.
Halliday hates Minesweeper. He doesn't care if you click a block and it says 3 and then the one next one says 1. What the fuck does it mean? Nobody ever knows. If Halliday doesn't like... I actually like Minesweeper. But anyway, if Halliday doesn't like Minesweeper and he doesn't put it in the Oasis, then you don't know anything about Minesweeper.
You might not have an opinion, yeah.
Right? But if Halliday loves Minesweeper, and there are little things all over the Oasis, little random things, little random blocks with a mine on
doors,
it,
yeah.
or there are puzzles where 3, 1, 2, and which one is the bomb, and it's not really a bomb, it's an unlock for a door. Well, of course you're going to be influenced by that because Halliday put it there.
So you're saying like the younger generation that grew up only knowing the Oasis wouldn't have developed their own opinion in the first place because
Correct.
they don't know it.
Well,
they only know Halliday's version of it.
All right, so think about it. Think about it this way too. Right? Think about it this way too. It's stuff that we talk about all the time in our age frame. Stuff that's being rebooted. Right? Your kid doesn't know original Voltron. All your kid knows, let's say, or all this generation knows, is new Voltron. So if old Voltron is forgotten and all they know is new Voltron, well, that's what their impression is. So Halliday is putting what he wants into the Oasis because he's the ultimate creator.
Because these are young heroes.
Right. So everything is going to be...
They didn't play 64.
Everything is going to be influenced by Halliday by proxy of him being the creator.
Right.
Everything is in there because he chose to put it in there. If he chose not to put something in there or change something or alter something to his liking, well, he's the game developer. See, you have to really think of the Oasis as a game that grew past being a game. But at its core, it's a VR game. Society allowed it to grow into a means of, or a way of life. It allowed it to go to school and offer job opportunities.
So it's like Facebook without games, pretty much.
Right, but
Facebook with games, rather.
Right, but at the end of the day,
Facebook has games.
At the end of the day, there was a creator. At the end of the day, someone sat down and wrote code. And they had the ultimate decision about what code went in.
The bro code?
And what code didn't go in. And if your only exposure to these things are within the Oasis, then you're only going to know what's in the Oasis. You're going to miss stuff that's not there if all you do is spend your time there.
Gotcha.
So the problem is, I think everybody looks at it real quick and just tries to jump on the nostalgia train or just tries to jump on the little pop culture references. But if you step back and you really try to digest what it is, it's a game. It's a game that society has consumed, but it's still going to be influenced by the creator. And I think that's one of the biggest things about whoever wins Ready Player One.
Right.
They are now in control. They can go in and they can put their influence on it. They can change things they don't like. They can tip the scales in favor of the poor and the rich, and they can close the wealth gap. They can make the wealth gap bigger. If the bad guys in Ready Player One win, the poor aren't gonna do better. They're gonna do better. Microtransactions will take all those, right? Whoever is the creator has control. Right, whoever is that's why it's so important that Percival wins, because he knows that if he doesn't win, the Oasis is become corrupted.
And that's all he knows is the Oasis.
And that's all he knows is the Oasis. And that's all a lot of these people know is the Oasis, especially if you're poor, especially if you don't have a lot of money.
Right.
All you know is those goggles, those shitty goggles that you get for free from the government. I'm assuming that's still, do they still get free ones or like real cheap ones or whatever? Yeah, right? All you know is eventually, Percival gets the banging when he gets that crazy apartment, he gets the fucking hookup, but he doesn't have that at first.
He doesn't get the apartment.
Oh, he doesn't get all that hookup. Well, whatever it might be, those changes.
I forgot what they called the suit, but it was like purchasing an Xbox.
Right.
He's the first one to get the first key, so like all of a sudden he's got 1 million coins, and he's like, I never could afford this, and he just starts buying shit, like all upgrades.
But so
the Zemeckis cube.
That's how I digest it. I digest it all as it is still a game. There is still a creator, and whatever the creator puts in the game is there, and whatever the creator chooses not to put in the game is not there, and whoever controls the game is the winner.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing too. Like when you play Grand Theft Auto, you can be these other characters and these other skins. So like you default to your own nostalgia. So that's why in the Oasis, people default and like drive the DeLorean or want to be that character because that's their own nostalgia, and that's why we're going to see this movie. Some people who never read the book, some people who just saw the commercial on TV want to see the nostalgia and don't understand exactly what the film is, I guess.
Right,
and that's why they're pissed.
So you're not looking at So
they went to see the film as a look down memory lane when it's not. It's a story.
It's a story.
Don't go looking for these characters to be part of the game in the way that characters.
Yeah, look to see
how
Doc
the characters
Brown,
act in other properties that you've seen them in. They're just like Matt said. They're just skins. They're a Halloween costume.
I played. I'm gonna go way old school, right? I played a tabletop game, dice. 20-sided, 10-sided, 8-sided die. It was called Rifts, and in the game Rifts, there was a character that was a psychic vampire. I modeled my character exactly after Vincent Valentine from Final Fantasy VII.
Okay,
nice.
Right? I mean, when I tricked him out, that's what he looked like. That's how
Vincent
he acted.
Valentine was pretty awesome.
He's still one of my favorite FF characters ever. But he wasn't Vincent Valentine. It was me dressed up like Vincent Valentine in a game.
Yeah,
controlling
the
him.
original when Grand Theft Auto 5 first came out, I represented my avatar as John Marston, Red Dead. So, but I would just do the anti things that he would do. Yeah,
I've never played Final Fantasy ever. Any of them?
Really? Oh,
I should. Everyone that says
They're
7
great.
is the best one, I guess, right?
I love 7.
To most
That's my
people,
favorite.
7 definitely holds probably
Is
the
it even
biggest
worth me
impact.
going back to try to play those games?
7 I would play.
7?
And 7 just came out remastered.
Can you play
a year
7
ago?
without knowing any of the
You don't
history
need
of
to
the
know
previous 6?
No, you don't need to know any of them.
No?
Nah, each one is really there are
Very different.
there are some characters that kind of tie over, kind of like a Black Mirror episode.
Right.
But really, for the most part, each game is
So I could go download 7 and then play that, no problem?
Yes.
Okay.
And
It's a Final Fantasy game. I mean, like, it's Final Fantasy. Like, the games they usually have dark endings. Like, they don't really have happy endings.
I've never played it, so I don't know anything about that world. But I should maybe play it.
Anyway,
continuing on. So, all right, those things aside, the skins, the characters not really being into the. All right, as Matt said, you need to look at it differently. I was looking at it. It's like they don't really give a shit about any of these pop culture things that they're claiming to be experts on. It's only because it's the other guy's favorite that is the only reason they like that stuff. Moving forward, the game itself, finding the keys. How was I'm trying to remember. How was the first key discovered in the book?
I honestly don't remember. I don't remember the exact.
It wasn't
riddle.
that car race.
One of the keys you had to reenact a scene from a film. One of them was you had to get some weird broken score in Pac-Man. You had to do something.
Pac-Man.
I know they removed Pac-Man for licensing.
But Pac-Man
issues.
wasn't for the key. Pac-Man was an offshoot that he found it.
Oh, that's right. That was the bonus side quest.
All right. Yes. All right. Here's a spoiler for everybody. So in the movie itself, the quarter
that
allows him to have the extra life, He doesn't obtain it by finding the Pac-Man machine and seeing the quarter. When you used to play old video, what do they call it?
The quarter up on the side.
What are the cabinet games? You would put your quarter down, or on pinball, you put your quarter down saying, I'm playing next.
Right.
So while somebody's playing, your quarter's there so that when they're done, you take the quarter and play.
That's what that meant?
Yeah.
I should just take their quarters.
Well, he couldn't take the quarter off the machine.
Right.
And then until he beat the game, when you got the kill screen on it.
Right.
And then all of a sudden the quarter came off, and now he didn't know what to do with the quarter. And then you forget he even has it till the very end of the movie.
Of course, it's
the way he obtains it here is in the movie now is much different than using the Pac-Man machine. So I'll leave it at that. The movie reenactment in the book is War Games. Right?
Yes.
I thought it was. This is where the Monty Python I thought came into play. I thought he had to reenact a full scene word for word from Monty Python.
I don't think it was Monty Python.
I thought it was.
I'll see if I can look it up.
It's been a while since.
I don't read.
Would you like to play a game?
Yeah, that's where I thought.
I thought it was. That's where the holy hand grenade. I thought he had to recite that whole speech what it was, and that's what got him the holy hand grenade. But I might be wrong because I don't read. But that's what one of my friends was really pissed off about. He's like, "That was the whole key."
Oh, Zork.
No,
Zork?
it wasn't Zork
on the
either.
planet for
No,
that's
deployed. Is dilapidated White House containing a detailed recreation of the game Zork, where the Jade key is located.
No, yes, that is the first key. Is that he has to go in and play Zork, but that's not the movie recreation.
This is saying the second key.
Or what?
The Jade key was the first key in the movie. That's where the.
So then it was the first key of the movie then.
Was where that was the race.
But there wasn't a race in the book.
So all the keys are different, is what I'm getting out of all this. Is that every way that you get a key in the movie is not remotely the same way you get a key in the book, and apparently the quarter as well.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen the book or read the movie.
The copper key is located on the planet Lotus within the Tomb of Horrors. During the key, the character must defeat Asarak the Demilich in 2 or 3 games of Joust. You got to play Joust.
I remember Joust. I love Joust.
When you beat Joust, the character in Joust, then you get the first key. All right, so the first key was Joust, which is not what the first key is in the movie. It's a race game through what appears to be it's a cross between New York and Delta City from RoboCop.
Oh yeah,
yeah. It's a mixture of those two. And then King Kong's in there, and
that's why it's New York. Yeah,
the T-Rex from Jurassic Park's in there. And by the way, all the cars when they lined up, you have to look carefully because they're all cars from something. There was the DeLorean. There was the 69 Batmobile. 60.
Yes,
right?
the Adam West Batmobile.
The Adam West Batmobile's in there. Bigfoot. The monster truck's in there. Mad Max's car is in there.
Yes.
And the A-Team van was in there. I don't think the General Lee was in there. I don't think they would put that in there considering the times right now. But anyway, every one of the cars was something different. So the first key
that part was cool.
the race.
That's where you first get punched in the face with some nostalgia.
So the second key, as we were saying, was doing the not the Zork.
The electric slide.
It's electric.
Boogie, boogie, boogie.
Yes. It's coming to a big fucking halt here now. I'm trying to remember. Yeah, so
insert car.
It had to go through Zork and play the game, recreate the map and everything in Zork in order to get the second key. The second key in the movie, Matt.
Mm-hmm.
Are you still looking up the key stuff?
I'm trying to find the reference. Yeah.
In the second key in the movie, they put you in The Shining.
In The Shining. I think it might have been War Games in the book.
Yeah, I think it was War Games because I remember something with War Games in the book and it's not in there. So you're in The Shining. You're walking through the Overlook Hotel. You're hearing the music. And, the blood's coming from the elevator. You see the twins, the naked lady.
I just want to read a quote from you from another article that I'm reading.
Right.
By its nature, the Oasis is trying to transform the media of the present into the pop culture of the Oasis's creator, James Halliday's youth. Which is exactly what I said.
Yes. Okay, so you're very smart. We get it. God, you should do a TED Talk on Ready Player One. So all the keys are different.
Right, but if you've read any article on that, because I did read one the other day, most of it was, at least a handful of them were copyright issues.
Oh yeah,
he just couldn't get, and some things just Spielberg had appreciation for
he loves
differently than
Kubrick,
Klein,
so
and
that made sense that it was in there.
So anyway,
but
there are changes.
The Shining scene was really great.
Yeah.
The ending of the Shining level was a bit weird because it was like, it seemed like when they go to the ballroom, it turned into, remember Disney's Haunted Mansion, where the couples are dancing as they're floating. You have to do that.
Right.
In the Shining thing, I'm like, that's not part of the Shining. Why is that in there? It's almost Haunted Mansion, and it's almost the female Ghostbusters.
Well,
way that thing was all mixed in
the Shining,
there.
weren't they dancing in the photo? Were they dancing in the photo?
No,
no, they're all standing in the photo.
Yeah,
they're all just posing for
a
group photo. They see that photo, by the way, and
Yeah.
Jack Nicholson is Halliday.
Yeah.
In there, which is a clue to something else later on. But the Shining thing. So then you go through the whole Shining world, and then you have to dance with these dead zombies floating around to get to Holloway's girlfriend, or the girlfriend that he lost, and actually dance with her because he never got to dance with her.
Yeah, he had one date, and it's like his whole regret about that date.
Yeah. So
he's like, I didn't dance with her, I
there.
didn't do this, I didn't do that.
By the way, the Monty Python thing from the book was for the third key.
Yeah, apparently that's the big deal.
Yeah, so that wasn't in there because they went to the finale for the third key was Castle Anorak, which is in Monty Python and the Holy Grail. But in the movie, they did Planet Doom from Voltron.
Yeah.
Okay, that's kind of cool, I guess.
So they switched everything was switched around. I guess they couldn't get all the Monty Python permissions to use, so that's why they switched it to Voltron, even though the hand grenade was still used in there. And then they even
why didn't they use like Castle Grayskull or something?
That would have been cool. Or Snake Mountain.
Yeah.
Something like that. And He-Man was on the battlefield at one point. You saw him, so they had permission to use him. But anyway, they went with
to each his own. Who knows?
They went with Planet Doom and Zorak's castle and everything for Voltron. Mechagodzilla was there. All this other cool stuff there. The big robot scene at the end of the book wasn't really present in the movie because there was a lot of people that had all those big 70s Japanese robots.
Yeah, there was a couple of them in the book.
And even Voltron was supposed to be at the end. It was in the book, but it wasn't in there. They used that one robot. I didn't know what it was. Gandon, something like that.
Was it a Gundam?
Gundam.
Yeah, Gundam.
Oh, okay.
Gundam Wing. Was it?
It was a Gundam, and then it was Mechagodzilla and Iron Giant.
Right.
And those were the only three robots that they actually used. And then going forward, the guy who runs the IOI, the actor who plays there, he comes off, and I'm wondering if this was on purpose. He's not good as an actor or as the villain in the game, but he comes off like the principal from Breakfast Club. He kind of looks like it and acts like it. And they reference John Hughes because he even says stuff when he's trying to convince Wade that he's on his side. And they're talking about John Hughes trivia where he talks about Ferris Bueller and Breakfast Club. He's like he was going to turn every high school in the Oasis into the high schools from Ferris Bueller and from Breakfast Club.
That's funny.
And when he said that, I'm like, he looks like the damn principal, and he talks like the guy, and he's a pansy. Like he's wishy-washy, just like the principal was. Like he's trying to be tough.
Like, yeah, because in real life, he would never actually fight anyone like that.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
And that was his avatar, was this big dude. And then at the end of the movie, where he actually has to be like a badass in real life, you're like, I don't know why. The only reason why people are threatened by him is because he's got a gun.
Yeah, but
otherwise I could take that guy.
That didn't make sense either. He parts a huge crowd of people.
Yeah.
He has a handgun, just a pistol, which 6 bullets at most, probably 5 at that point. So
but isn't
that
it
huge,
virtual world?
No, this is in reality at this point.
Oh.
At this point, he's got 5 bullets, so maybe 5 people die or get hurt. That whole crowd could take him easy, and they all just part and let him go through to do what he needs to do.
If they live in a virtual world, they're used to not dying. So they don't want to be the one guy charging and getting shot. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
All right.
If I'm in that crowd, I'm not going to be the first one. I'll charge at 10.
There's so many Easter eggs.
I feel you.
I'll charge it after 1, 2. All right, now I'm going.
There's so many Easter eggs in this movie that even when he beat the game, there was still another Easter egg. Like
and it came out Easter weekend. Isn't that ironic?
So anyway, what we're trying to say is go see Ready Player One and judge for yourself.
That's it.
And see what issues you have with
but don't
it.
have your asshole that tight. Like, have an open mind.
That's it.
Have an open asshole when you go to see
That's
this.
it. And on that note,
show title.
Have an open asshole.
So,
Yeah, I feel like that's Ready number 2, not a Ready Player 1.
Ready Player.
That's it.
Ready number 2 is the show title for.
I like
today.
to refer to that as one in the chamber, but whatever.
When you have to go, do they
ready.
still part the crowd? Like
Sometimes.
Get out of my way, get out of my way, get out of my way, get out of my way.
It all depends on how quickly you're doing the clench walk.
You ever do that when you're driving home and
Oh.
you're just like, you get there and you're hitting the garage door.
Yeah.
Go quicker, go quicker, go quicker.
You start sweating, and then you get the chills, and then you start
Dude, you're
sweating.
dropping the keys like Jason's chasing you from a horror movie.
Yeah.
You can't get in the fucking door.
It is
You're fine
terrible.
while you're sitting down because it's helpful. As soon as you stand, you're like, oh no, I got 30 seconds.
Trying to undo your belt as you're running down the hallway. Like, yeah.
You're
it's awful.
praying. There are prayers. You believe in God that day.
Yeah.
So some of us saw Ready Player One. It took me 3 times to go see this movie.
Yeah.
So here's what happened.
said you bought the
Didn't you have
tickets.
reserved tickets?
I did.
Yeah, you have your little bar
I
seat.
did.
So you
I
can
had
pay.
everything
How late
set.
did you show up, Eric?
I did. Well, I didn't show up at all. That was the problem. Here's the problem. So Friday, I have my ticket for midday to go see Ready Player One. I get a block from here, and there was this huge pothole, I guess, in the street. Took out my front right tire.
Yeah.
So I was like, bam. I'm like, oh no, please don't. I'm driving. I'm like, okay. Bing, low tire pressure. And I'm like, oh crap. So I'm about a block and a half from here. I had to circle all the way back.
Yeah.
Tire's completely flat. Now, because stupid me bought a Sport AWD, that the tires are very limited and very expensive.
Yep.
So there's only one tire that fits on that car. With those, I got to get all the rims and everything replaced on there. But there's only one tire right now that fits on that car, and that tire is about $300. So didn't make it to the movie that day, and then wound up having to deal with trying to get the tire
He's down
to repair my car.
$325 with the IMAX ticket.
So, I was trying like 15 minutes after the movie started to see if they'll refund my ticket, but it wouldn't let me. So I'm like, crap it, I'll just roll the dice again. I will go Saturday. So I get the tire, everything's replaced. Saturday, 12 o'clock, I'm going to go see the movie.
Same pothole.
I get there. Oh my God, I would have just slit both wrists at that point. So I go to the movie theater. I sit in, and granted, the theater's not that crowded. I thought it would be much more crowded, but it probably got crowded later in the day. I went to the earlier movies. So I'm sitting down, I'm watching, they start the trailers, but I noticed there's like blue lines in the screen. So I'm like, what's going on? So I'm putting the glasses on, and one lens is completely blue, the other one's clear. I'm like, okay, maybe I'm not supposed to have the glasses on at this point. Trailers keep going, this is going on. The movie's now starting, and you go to put it on there, and you can't watch it. It's all fucked up. So I go out of the theater to tell somebody at the customer service desk, and other people had gone out and complained about it. Go back in there. They stopped the whole movie. Lights are on. We're just sitting there. About 27 minutes, the movie still has not started.
Right.
Then finally, all of a sudden, they announce that it's coming back on. So flash, this thing comes up on the screen. It says, this is not an IMAX movie, and this is not the IMAX experience. And you're like, what? And the movie's starting.
Yeah.
And I'm seeing everything perfectly fine. On an IMAX movie, you should not be able to see anything without the glasses on. I go, oh my God, they're not showing the standard definition movie.
Yeah.
Watching about 5 minutes in, I'm like, yeah, that's what they're doing. They never even turn the lights off at this point. So I go storming out of the theater there, and this lady's helping somebody else. She sees me walking over. She goes, hold on a second. Yeah, they're not going to be able to show the movie in 3D. I'm like, well, then I want my money back. And she goes, yeah, we can do that, no problem.
Yeah.
And I said, why? What happened here? And it's like, they're not able to fix it, so that's all they can do.
How did you walk out where she stopped helping someone else? Like, I have to help this
She
angry
saw me
man.
make the beeline
it's
right
Eric.
to it. So she stopped this lady. So what I didn't know was behind me, there was a father with 2 kids. And as I'm talking about the refund and everything, the guy goes, well, can you refund the concession? No, we can't do that. He goes, I'm out like 70-something bucks because it's him and 2 kids.
Yeah.
He's like, we wasted half an hour on a movie that didn't even start, and now we can't see the movie how we want to see it. It's like, I spent all this money. They wouldn't refund the guy the concession on it. So
that is kind of fucked.
It is kind of fucked because I bought the large soda and everything too, and I was just like, all right, screw this. So they refund the ticket and they give me a pass to come see it. And I said, before I go, I've had this happen before. Does this pass not work on opening weekend? She goes, no, this one will work. I'm like, okay. So if I come back for a later screening of this movie, the IMAX will be working. And she goes, we hope so.
Right, of course.
Jesus.
So I'm like, all right. So as long as the pass will let me back in, because sometimes they give you the free ticket and you have to wait a week or two before you can use it. So I said, I had like 2.5 hours to kill. I said, you know what? I'm going to try to get my ticket now for the next showing. So I walk back to the front of the box office. There's a line, so I got to stand on the line. I go through there. I go to the lady. I pick my seat and everything. And I come back. So I come back for the 3:45 movie, sit down. I'm not buying concession. I'm not buying any of this nonsense. I'm just going to sit there and watch the movie.
He's got a Wawa hoagie underneath his sweatshirt. He's good at it.
I should have done that. So the movie's starting. The trailers are going. And right about the time the movie's supposed to start.
Blue line.
No, the projector shuts off.
Oh.
And now we're just sitting in the dark.
Yeah.
And for a while, people are on their phones. Somebody a few rows back turned on their Spotify and was just listening to music. Because I heard something being played in the back. And one guy goes, are you serious? She goes, I love this song. And I'm like, I'm not even dealing with that.
Yeah, I can't.
All right, so music's playing in the background. And there's random people around. And then all of a sudden you're seeing like something pops up on the screen for a second, turns off, on and off. Like this is happening for a little bit. About 5 minutes goes by. The trailers start, and it's audio only. So you're now hearing the trailers, no screen in a pitch black theater. So I was like, this is not happening. This is not happening.
All of a sudden, there's hands coming up Eric's shoulders. He can't see who it is. He just hears things.
Hey, boy. Is that Twizzlers? So I go, I'm like, I'm going to wait. And then I see guys walking down the thing. I'm like, okay, they're going. I'll let them deal with this. So I'm sitting there. I'm looking on my phone. They come back in. The trailers stop. It's dark again. Waiting another handful of minutes. All of a sudden, you're hearing, noise, distortion, the screen's flashing white. Finally, it starts up. This is not an IMAX movie, and this is not the IMAX experience. I just went, no, and I threw the glasses.
Yeah.
I just hucked them over the railing into the screen. And the guy next to me goes, I saw him look at me. He's with his girlfriend. And I just got up and I walked out of the theater. And as I'm walking out there, the same lady at the desk sees me come back. She's on the little walkie-talkie thing, and I start walking over there.
Like,
and she goes, we know, we're working on it. I go, I was here for the 12 o'clock screening. This is the 3:45, and you're doing it again. So he's like, they're working on it. I'm sorry, we're doing the best we can. I don't want to yell at this lady, but this is getting ridiculous.
But Eric.
So I'm walking back, and they start that blue countdown clock that's going through space, and you just go 6, 5, 4, and it's all blurry. You need the glasses, and I realized I threw my glasses. It's dark. The thing's now starting. I don't have glasses. So I had to go.
Good job, Eric.
I couldn't find the person with the new glasses, so I had to take old glasses out of the recycle bin, and I wiped them down. I know, it was gross. I wiped them down.
I'd have done it. I don't care.
And I went back in there,
I'm
and then
savage.
finally I watched the movie, which started 20-something minutes later.
That's what that thing is on your lip.
Yes.
Ugh. How do you put on glasses? How'd you get some on your lip?
So the tire, projector, tire,
You didn't say
projector
how he
screws
wiped
up.
it down.
So third time was technically the charm, even though you had to wait. And finally got to see the movie.
You define charm differently
a
than me.
3:45 movie, I got out 6:45.
Yeah.
So that was my.
And then you were just angry about the film. Like all week. Well, the more I think about it, the more I hate it.
It is. Well, not the more I hate it, the less I like it. I was like, I went in there trying to enjoy it, take everything in, and everything was going by so fast. It's really hard to absorb everything in that movie. And then I was thinking about it more and more, and as I kept thinking about it, I was like, I think I'm liking it less as the more and more I break it down in my head. So that was my movie-going experience.
You're allowed to do that.
I'm going to go. I still need to go see Pacific Rim. And then what opens this weekend? Do you have the thing
Quiet
there?
Place?
Yeah, that's been getting great reviews. In fact, the television ads for it now say it's 100% Rotten Tomatoes certified.
The dude from The Office can't talk in the cabin.
Yeah, they're saying
yeah.
they're saying that this is going to change the landscape for horror films, which is great because horror films needed some updating for a while.
My buddy saw it because he interviewed the cast because he works at Google Talks. And so you got to see the movie, and he said that everything you see in the trailer is literally like the first 10 minutes of the movie, so it really doesn't spoil anything.
Oh, interesting.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, that's nice and refreshing.
Yeah.
I like
So
that.
he's like, there's so many twists and turns, and it gets so much crazier. He said, but like most of the scary stuff from the trailer is like the first 10 to 15 minutes.
Nice.
I'll go see it with Eric. It'll take me 10 to 15 tries to see it. Yeah.
Oh my God. The problems Eric has when he goes to the movies, like I just don't get it.
The not so quiet place.
I don't get it.
Well, I'm not good with socializing with the common folk, apparently.
Blatantly obvious.
What opens this week?
I went to the movies last week. And I saw Spice World in theater. It was great.
I'm sorry.
Dude, I love Spice World.
I'm sorry.
It was joking.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was the first time I'd seen it.
Don't you joke about that film.
With
I'm
Meatloaf
joking
as the
about
bus
that film.
driver.
I mean,
Oh yeah, Meatloaf is the bus driver, and Roger Moore is the greatest villain ever.
No, I'll go home.
Oh,
and watch.
so good.
I'll go home and watch Josie and the Pussycats. You guys can watch Spice World.
you shut your dirty whore mouth.
You should watch all of them. They're all great.
Do you want to do more movies, or do you want to talk about some real life stuff?
No, why don't we all have other stuff we want to talk about. I think Giddles has something he wanted to talk about.
Giddles has some news that he wants to share with
Why don't
us.
we go around the room?
Giddles, what
Oh
do you
yeah,
have?
so I'm moving.
Oh,
You
no.
are?
You're
Where?
moving.
Yeah, I'm moving a whole 2 blocks away.
Nice.
From where? From the studio or from where you are?
From where I currently live.
Oh, that's huge.
Yeah, that was it. I was trying to make it sound like
You're gonna have to take that one picture that you have off
Yeah.
the wall and walk down the street.
it's gonna be awesome. Yeah.
Is it a good?
You can't take it down. It's a support poster.
Is it a good thing or a bad thing? That's where he's carving out the tunnel to escape. Is it a good thing or a bad thing?
Oh no, it's a good thing.
Oh,
It's,
nice, good.
I'm gonna have a bigger apartment, and I'll be saving like $300 a month.
Oh, that's a home run.
But
So-
are you still with the roommate that makes beats?
No.
You're
So-
gonna ask him to send you beats.
Oh God, no.
So who you?
That's like I'm so looking forward to that.
You're gonna have
Like,
roommates in this
no
new
more
place,
beats.
or is it solo?
No, there's like 2 other roommates, but whatever.
Do you
But not
know
beats,
them?
man.
I know one of them
All right. So
because I'm taking the apartment over from my other friend who's moving out to live with his girlfriend. So I'm basically just taking his place.
oh, nice.
Oh, that's nice. That's even better.
So it's an easy move, easy find. So
I
it was
hope
kind of like a last minute decision, but I'm psyched because I have a bigger room there, so I'm gonna be able to set up like a little station there where I can have like a desk,
Right.
and have like the streaming thing going on here, and maybe I'll do some more streaming stuff. So we'll see what happens.
Nice.
Sweet.
I hope the third roommate you've never met, he introduced. Hi, I'm a DJ. I make
Yeah.
beats. Damn it! God
damn it.
I had a beat guy already. Damn.
Well, I think one of the guys is a firefighter, so like we're safe there. If anything catches fire, like he'll know what to do.
Sweet. He'll carry you out the window all sexy like.
Save your cat.
Yeah. And I will always love you.
See if
Yeah,
he
that
can,
song.
See if
We'll
he can
play.
take you along to the calendar shoots.
And then he'll be like, dude, your iPod's like freaking out. I'll be like, yeah, I don't know why it's playing like that.
Well, that's good for you, man.
Excellent.
Yeah, so
well,
it's like, yeah, that's it. That's all I got going on.
Is it
That's
2 blocks closer to us, or is it going to hinder you even more?
Nah, it's like 2 blocks further away, but whatever.
Yeah.
I'm already out here, so
what is that? An extra 5 minutes? 2 blocks ain't nothing.
no, it's fine.
Ain't nothing.
What
Ain't
was
nothing.
I seeing you, Matt, on your social media that you were at a trampoline park?
I went to Sky Zone.
I've always wanted to go to Sky
It's
Zone.
amazing.
What is Sky Zone?
So Sky Zone it's a giant indoor park that's just nothing but trampolines.
The floors are
Oh, I
trampolines.
wanna
That's it.
go.
Floor's trampoline. That's
Floor's
it.
trampoline.
Is it one of those places
Not
that you
lava.
have to have a kid in order to go?
No.
No.
Okay.
No, I don't
No.
think so.
I looked it up for my birthday one time because they have adult sessions
Yeah.
where the biggest problem that they have, and the first thing they put when you click on the adult session is, if you are intoxicated in any way, we will not let you on the
Yeah.
trampoline.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you have to sign your life away.
Yeah, because adults can use the trampolines too. So, but they have like trampoline dodgeball.
Yeah.
That was great.
What?
Yeah, trampoline dodgeball, and they have
Whose birthday's next?
a giant. Mine just passed, so I'm out.
All 3 of ours were right next to each other, so
Yeah, we have to loop around the
we'll have to look at
Trebs
you.
Devs.
January.
They have a giant foam pit that you can dive into, and then they
like
have,
gymnastics.
Yeah, and then they have one room that's just trampolines.
I am going to be the sad single guy that's going there into Sky Zone by himself.
All right, so
Eric shows up at 11 when they open.
Yeah.
With just a lollipop, and it's just him jumping up and down.
Nobody's around during the day. Everyone's working. So
here's the things
I'm going to
I've
go
learned.
sad trampoline by myself.
Here's the things I've learned
Bouncing
about.
around. I'll go with you, Eric.
You know the scene from The Simpsons where Milhouse has no friends and he's throwing the frisbee to himself.
Yeah.
That'll be me as I throw the dodgeball to one side, run over, grab it, and then throw it to the other side.
Right. So this all sounds like
Just throw it at your own head.
all of these things sound brilliant in your mind, and
Yes.
it all sounds like fun and games until you actually get on one of the trampolines.
Right.
So here's
Trampoline.
here's what I learned about myself going to Sky Zone. I consider myself to be like decently healthy. Like I go to the gym.
Oh yeah, you're never physically
right.
in shape.
No.
Right.
I'm
I
so
have
unhealthy.
Learned
you
that
know
the hard
like
way, yeah.
You can feel the pressure of your weight crushing your legs
Yeah.
while you're on a trampoline.
So as soon, seriously, it was one of the hardest workouts I've ever had ever.
You were there for 5 minutes.
5 minutes, and the amount of coordination you need, which I just don't have in general.
So you don't like roll an ankle and shit too. Yeah,
Fuck
I'm
roll an
sure.
ankle. I mean, because so the way it's set up, it's these.
or you get
it's-
your leg caught between the springs off to the side.
Oh,
the way it's set up is it's only one person per trampoline at a time. So the room with the trampolines, right? It's got like 70 trampolines in it, and each one is separated by a little pad. So when you're going from trampoline to trampoline, you're not supposed to be two people on the same trampoline.
is there like a
And
lifeguard there
one
that
side.
yells at you?
There are. If you run,
can't have two people on the same trampoline.
no, but you could be right next to each other.
Because the
But
balance could get off and you can get like fucked up.
What if
Yeah.
you're with your kid? Can you do it then?
No.
Nope. Wow.
Nope. You still have to be separate from your kid. So I'm bouncing on said trampolines, having a gay old time, as it were, and
Ignoring his child.
Who's
I
just screaming in the corner?
I tripped. I was tripping over the padding. I lost my balance twice and face planted into the wall. And the walls are trampolines also, by the way.
That's awesome.
You can run and jump off the wall?
Walls are trampolines. You can do parkour if you can already.
Wait, isn't that a Simpsons episode where the floor is rubber and you
They
can
went to
everything?
that museum,
Yeah.
where it was like the Hall of Reproduction or something
So
like that.
I mean, it was awesome, but like I got
virtual garden?
trampoline.
No, one of the I think it was the Planet Mars bounce house or something like that, where they're on Mars, but the whole
I thought it was like
exhibit was-
the floor is rubber and then the next exhibit's the Velcro ceiling.
Yeah. I got trampoline burn on my arm and on my knee.
Well, how hard were you trampoline? You were going hardcore, like
Well-
just sprinting as hard as you could into the wall.
You have to do shoes off?
No, yeah, you have to do. Not only do you have to do shoes off, but you have to wear the special socks.
Sky Zone socks.
You have to wear Sky Zone socks. You can't wear your own
Are
socks.
they like those spa socks when ladies get their feet softened?
So no,
Or they have like
you know what?
texture, like gripping. stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
They're more like
Totes. They're tote socks.
Yeah, they're more like tote socks or like airline socks, but the grip
Okay.
is a little bit.
The grip
stronger.
is real.
But here's the thing: unless you're jumping on the trampoline, like not actually getting any air, right? So if you're just kind of like, yeah, right, like lumbering like an elephant, right? You're okay. But as soon as you start to get a little bit of
I'm the king of the world.
yeah, as soon as you start to get a little bit of bounce, it does not take a lot to go from 6 inches to 4 or 5 feet. Like it's all of a sudden you're like, oh shit, I'm way higher than I thought I should be.
What are you doing next Tuesday? Actually, Wednesday. I'm good Wednesday. You want to go Wednesday?
I'm good. I'm unemployed.
I want to go in there and just bring
Oh.
like a 16-pound bowling ball and throw it on other people's trampolines, and then bounce out of there.
But no, it was way fun though. I had a good time. But
Giddles is doing the proverbial bull in
Yeah.
a china shop.
it is
Just everyone's injured.
Later, suckers.
it's quite a workout though. It is quite a
It's
workout.
supposed to be for family and kids, and it says warning: don't let this guy in. It's just a picture. of
Yeah.
Giddles.
You know what it is when by
Dodge ball. Like, yeah, dodge that fucking ball.
yeah, a bowling ball with the name engraved Homer is shooting right at your head, just as
Got a
fast
bottle
as a
stuck in the
projectile
thumb
that shoots at the astronauts as they're
Exactly.
outside of the International Space.
But yeah, Sky Zone. The nice thing about the Sky Zone socks though is that if you
can keep 'em?
you can keep them.
Okay.
And if you
Is it
wa-
like bowling shoes? I only have a 9 and a 13.
but once you
She's got a hole in the toe.
once you have them, as long as you bring them back, you don't have to rent. You don't have to buy new pairs each time.
What are the
much do
socks
they
run
cost?
you? Yeah.
I want to say it's like $2 or $3. It's not bad.
Rip off.
It's not bad. It's not bad.
Can you bring your own?
No, you have.
I
to
brought
wear
my
the
own
Sky-
totes.
I'm sure I'm sure it's some sort of weird.
Eric's bringing hospital socks.
I'm bringing.
It's probably an insurance
golf
thing.
cleats.
I was going to say I'm sure it's some weird insurance liability thing
totally.
where it's like, no, we have tested these socks and they are approved on our trampolines.
We can
Matt,
rebuild them.
No, Matt, see, that's how they get you. It's just like the concession stand at the movies.
No,
you can go to the movie and not have to buy the concession.
No, this is how
they're saying
or
that
you can
have
buy
to
the
buy their
concessions
socks.
in the movie
you can bring
breaks.
your own socks.
No, this is how they get you.
My trampoline's broken.
This is how they get you. If you don't put on their socks, they just tell you to go home. That's how they get you. So pay the $2
Every
and
time.
get the socks.
Yeah,
What
you're
if you wear-
You already drove there, and you're already looking at everyone else having
Yeah.
fun.
What if you wear only the socks?
That's probably a problem.
Maybe a scarf.
And
You have to buy the third one.
And listen, I got to be quite honest with you.
And then you sing, give it away, give
listen,
it away now.
You
Listen,
don't want to get trampoline burn on your wiener.
I'm going to say, if you fall down and rub
And
your
go boom?
ass and or balls on
you
the
burn a
trampoline,
testy? Oh.
dude, I have a huge fucking.
Let me see.
It's covered in band-aids and shit now because it got a little pussy the second day.
Jesus.
I have like it looks like road rash. Like I have a.
See, I would be
huge
terrified. I would
fucking-
like land on my
terrible
tattoo
are you
wrong
at
and,
jumping
like,
on-
No,
Get a
dude,
deep burn.
dude. I was bouncing.
He's
right?
not good at physics.
And I went to go off one of the walls, and I successfully made it off the wall. But coming back down, I didn't stick the landing. Russia would have only given me 2 stars, and I rolled just right to kind of drag my arm and my elbow across the trampoline, and it's not that hard to do. It's really not that hard to do.
Quick question, double
Yeah.
Q. So you came home with an injury.
Don't
I
ever
did.
say that again.
What?
Double Q.
I did come home with an injury.
Ugh.
A sports-related injury.
Yeah,
So you went there, came home with an injury.
yeah,
You took your child to this place.
yeah.
Did he come home with an injury?
No, but here's why. Because a 200-pound male jumping
Yeah.
on a trampoline comes down a lot harder than a 35-pound kid.
Yeah.
So your kid came home, Mommy, I had so much fun. You walked in huffing and puffing and bleeding from the arm.
Yeah, but guess what? I had so much fun. I would go back again. Fuck it. I don't care. Cut me
Yeah.
up.
Matt died. That's why he's not on the next show. He had a heart attack at Sky Zone.
No, my Fitbit was like, oh, you've successfully worked out for 45 minutes
That's
today.
what you should have done. You should
The
have thrown
Fitbit's
it
like,
on,
what kind of mountain are you climbing? 4
put it
feet
on
up,
your-
4 feet down, 4
put it
feet
on
up,
your
4
kid
feet
and just
down.
send him into the trampoline
That's it.
park. It's like 20,000 steps for the day.
No, but it was a lot
lying
of fun.
to yourself by tagging your kid with your Fitbit.
No,
Cheap bit.
do it myself. No, it was a lot of fun though. But you can get injured.
Well, actually, and that's another thing. I feel bad sometimes when I'm sitting at work and I have nothing to do.
Yeah.
And since Eric is lonely and can't even go to the movies by himself,
Cue Andrew Gold. Oh, what a lonely boy.
I looked up. There's a new job posting that I saw that I thought would be perfect for E-Rock. So,
all right, I need a job.
Considering you already do this when I'm calling you, they're looking for people at Netflix just to watch movies and then write the editorial analysis.
I'd be great at that.
This is all you need to do. You need to sit on the couch, watch all their shit, and then write an editorial analysis.
Well, first, I don't think they appreciate you calling their stuff shit. So watching their fine quality programming.
Well, it's not the actual shit.
It's the proverbial shit.
It's the collective shit. Yeah,
It's the royal shit.
It's the royal shit. It's totally different. It's totally different.
Okay.
And here's the thing. The reason why I think you're so good for this job, and I think you have a leg up on the competition for anyone who now wants to
Yeah,
do it,
right.
You have to have 5 years experience working in the entertainment industry and deep knowledge of movies and
Entertainment?
TV.
What's entertainment? Trevs and devs. What's entertainment?
I'm trying to help you, all right? I did this for you.
He is trying to help you.
But you
Elon.
work in the entertainment industry.
Entertainment.
That's who called you today about your taxes, Kittles. That was entertainment.
That was entertainment, all right.
So continue.
I don't know if I want to.
No.
But all you have to do is you have to have 5 years experience of watching TV and reporting on it.
Right.
Got it.
And then move to California.
So-
now, I know that might not be ideal, but you have to sit on a couch in California because you can't do it in your own home. And they describe it as candidates. I don't want to read this part. I'll have Matt read it in case I say a word wrong.
Candidates must be able.
Wait.
Candidates must be able to distill the essence of a movie or show and share findings in a concise manner. See, now this is why E-Rock couldn't do this job.
Why?
Because every review would start out with, this movie really sucks, but. Or if you have dumb kids, you might like this shit, but.
It was an amazing thing for another Ashton Kutcher film.
See, here's the thing. I would totally go by those reviews.
If you have really dumb kids, this is the show for you to watch.
If he could sign all of his reviews negative Nelly, then it would be totally appropriate.
Well, the way you're describing it, I should just sign off as at the consumer.
There you go.
So anyway, I thought that would be a job, be perfect for you.
I am going to take that and actually apply, and I'm also going to pass it along to my pal Giddles. I think this is something.
The reviewer.
Yes. Look, California is in turmoil right now. We with the unfortunate incident that happened at YouTube. People are things are all very unsettled out there right now. They may just say, "Look, we need people. Just come in." They may just flag us and approve it, and we could probably get under the radar right in there at this point in time.
I bet.
The YouTubes.
See, I'm just picturing it as a screening room with the Snick at Night couch.
Yeah,
just
nice.
Eric sitting there.
Nice.
Do you remember Do you remember our K-Rock studio after we took over for David Lee Roth?
I was never in the K-Rock.
You were never in the K-Rock studio?
No.
We had a red couch that was giant kiss lips.
Oh God.
Like it was a red couch, but they were lips.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's like from Rock of Love.
Yeah, it was horrible. And then when we got in there, we took over because they fired him on a Thursday and we took over on a Monday. So we get in there and there's this giant red couch that looks like lips. I'm like, this can't stay.
If it was like
this can't be
why
part of
not?
If it was like
horrible.
if it was the Rocky Horror lips with the lip bite, that I might have been okay with.
Did someone cut a hole in it?
Ew.
Ew, no.
Oh, I'm the weird one.
Well, we were like, we got to get rid of it, and you're like, we can cut a hole in that.
There's your promo, you bastard.
Anyway, now I forgot what I was going to say.
I can't ask
here.
double questions or quick questions. I don't even know what I want to ask anymore.
I will apply for that job. Thank you, Trevor.
You're welcome.
We'll see how
Trying
that goes.
to help you.
I wanted to talk real quick before we go to break about just to show how bad my week has been. 2 weeks, really. So on top of the movie stuff and other shit going on here, we have yet another snowstorm coming. I don't know how much it's going to be
The
this weekend.
one that happened this week was really kind of puss. I mean, it dropped a lot of snow on us, but it was also gone like an hour and a half later.
But they're
Yeah.
saying Saturday.
It was great.
now. Saturday,
Yeah,
it
Saturday.
all depends. We can get anything from a coating to 18 feet.
Yeah, right. That's
Well,
every storm.
That's the range.
That's pretty much been the gamble that we've had for this past winter. So there's that. But also, I've had a bit of a financial issue here. So the other night, I'm watching television.
No.
And
Were you buying shit on QVC late at night, Eric?
Nah, who does that anymore? You
He's
can buy
not
it
my
24
mom.
I was buying
hours.
swords.
You can buy it 24 hours now.
That's
Like
actually
jerk.
the new thing now. When you get drunk, they're saying the worst part is not driving, it's shopping.
Yep.
All right.
All right.
I got two thermostats that way. Just shit hammered on the train and accidentally ordered two $500.
Thermostats, not thermometers. Thermostats.
Like for your house.
What did you buy? The Nest?
No, another voice-activated one. I accidentally clicked yes on Groupon and then ordered two of them. Took forever to get my money back.
Who buys thermostats?
On
I
Groupon.
didn't mean to click it. I was on with your story.
Okay. So anyway, I'm watching television and I get alerts from my bank app that there's charges being made. And they only do that when they're suspicious of the charges because I'll go shopping and I'll never get those alerts. So I look on the app and I see what obviously, one, it's fraud because I know I didn't make that. But two, why they're flagging it is because when somebody tries to get access to your credit cards or bank accounts, whatever, they usually have a pattern of buying the same thing. So I see charges to Walmart and there was multiple charges of $50, right? So they're obviously trying to buy gift cards or something like that. And then there was $100 charges to Steam, the online gaming service, which, knowing me, you would think, well, Walmart and Steam is probably him. But I've never used Steam. I've never bought anything on Steam, so obviously not me. So I call the bank right away, and I said, hey, just letting you know, I'm seeing these charges show up on my bank account. Listed everything here. I said, I'm not making any of these charges. And she said, okay, unfortunately, what they have to do is they have to let it process.
Yep.
Because they can't stop it at this point. They have to let it process because more times than not, there's security protocols in play where that it'll bounce back and refund me the money, right? And sometimes when it doesn't and it goes through, then they have a legal ground to press charges on whoever they can track down for it, right? So they said, well, you're going to have to call back tomorrow morning and let these charges go through, and we'll see what bounces back and what doesn't. Okay.
Really?
So I don't even get a chance to do that because I get woken up early by the phone with a phone number from the bank where it's the automated thing saying, we're detecting suspicious charges on your account. Did you make the following purchases? Press 1, yes, 2, no, whatever. And then so I hit no. It sends me to a live person. We go through everything, and there was a lot more charges than what I saw last night, up to like $750 of charges, right? Wow. So I'm going through everything here, and they said, well, what about this? What about this? I said, no, those are reoccurring monthly charges off my account. Those are fine. I said, all these other things are not me. So they noticed that because I have multiple accounts, one of my accounts is shared with somebody else in my family, and that person has also multiple accounts shared with other people in my family. That account might have been compromised too. They had to freeze everything. So I have no access to my money, right? So not only did they have to cancel my debit card, they froze my accounts up to 72 hours. And it's the first of the month. I got bills to pay. I got to make, house payments, car payments, health insurance payment, all these things. And I'm like, all right, I don't want to do this, but while this is all being sorted out, I'll just pay everything on the credit card. When my accounts are open, I'll just pay off the credit card in one shot. Can't do that. You can't pay your health insurance. You can't pay your car loan. You can't pay utilities to the town. You can't pay any of that stuff with a credit card. It all has to come from a check or a bank account.
Really?
Yeah. So I had to talk to each one of them there, and most of them were reasonable and gave me an extension. So when the ban is the freezing is lifted, I can make my payments. Except my car payment, which is through another bank, and they don't give a shit. So I said, I can't access the money. You have my routing. Contact the bank that I have here and check with them. They'll tell you my account's frozen because it's under investigation. They're not going to open it up anywhere from 48 to 72 hours. They don't care. So I'm still trying to figure that how if I'm just going to have to take the hit or if I can try to because once you don't pay with the car loan, within a day or two they contact you and they say you didn't make your payment. So I'll just wait for that phone call and say, look, I told you that I couldn't access my account because the banks froze my accounts. As soon as it's open, I can make the bank. Can you go to the bank
directly and get like a bank check and do it that way?
It's not. How am I going to get it to the other bank in time?
Overnight?
Mail?
I don't know.
You got to pull the Roseanne. You send the check, but you forget to sign it. You send the water bill to the electric company, electric bill to water. That's what you got to do.
Somebody watches 80 sitcoms. So I'm kind of screwed in certain parts.
I'm in the entertainment.
So I'm just gonna roll the dice and see what happens here.
Take a gamble.
Yeah, take a
walk
gamble.
outside, his car's just gone.
But the other person who has ties to these accounts
blows a tire.
I was just gonna say blows a tire in a pothole.
Was all freaking out too because they have multiple accounts.
Sure.
And they were trying to see if their accounts were going to get frozen, which I don't know if that happened at that point. So I'm dealing with the fact of yet another card being canceled and having to wait for them to reissue. Which, by the way, I've taken the bank I use puts your photo on the card.
Yeah.
I've tried to update that photo 3 times since I was 21, and they still put the photo of me when I was 21. And that photo I took was after I just finished the morning show that day at Real Radio in West Palm Beach.
Yeah.
Went to the bank. I'm exhausted.
Yeah.
And that's the photo that's been on my bank card since I was 21.
That's hilarious.
They refuse to update it, and there's 3 other photos in my account, and they never do it.
That's hilarious.
So you're like the T-virus for your family.
Yes.
If all of their accounts get frozen, it's because of you.
Look, you can see look at that. That's the photo.
Oh, God. It doesn't even look like you.
Look at that.
Nice
Well, dude, that's the
blonde
same
hair.
shit that happened to me like 3 weeks ago. My PayPal got hacked, and then my account got shut down. But I got my money back, though.
It was. See, I knew it was someone on the show had a problem a couple weeks ago, right? Where they missed the big hit, but they picked up on the little ones at the dollar store or some shit. Yeah.
They noticed that like $30 was spent at Rite Aid, but they didn't notice that like over $700 was spent at the Dollar Tree in Michigan in like 5 minutes.
Yeah, I knew
it was
it
like the
someone
same
on
thing
the
you
show.
had, like with like multiple purchases all in a row.
What happened? What's any update on yours?
Yeah, I got my money back. It took
they
like
did?
3 weeks. They sent me a new card, but they had to do like a whole investigation, like you said.
Yeah.
So
that's where I'm at right now.
So longtime listeners of this particular program may remember it was probably year one of It's Erik Nagel when I went through my issues with Xfinity, and I left Xfinity for Fios. And I did that because I had massive customer service issues. It got to the point where I was on the phone, my cell phone with Xfinity, screaming at them to cancel my account and turn off my service. And I had my wife's cell phone in my other hand signing up for Fios at the same time.
I remember this, yeah.
And the woman at Fios was just laughing hysterically. She's like, no, I'll hold. I want to listen to this. It was amazing.
I hope she gave you like stars for free for a month.
I hope that's on YouTube somewhere. You just haven't heard it yet.
I hope so too. So this past
week, not a 911 call, Giggles.
This it must be this month for financial problems. So you better be careful because you're next then. Because now it's hit all of us.
Yeah, here's the funny thing. I'd have to have money.
Money, right. So I go into my bank account earlier, a couple days ago, right? It's the beginning of the month. I
Do
went
you
to go
pull
pay a
open
couple
the
of bills.
vault door and just swim through like Scrooge McDuck?
I do.
All right.
I've mastered the backstroke. What I haven't mastered yet is spitting the coins out without choking on them. That never goes.
That's
that never
crazy
goes well.
because you can do that, but you can't do the trampoline. That doesn't make any sense.
It's very different. It's a different dynamic.
Gotcha.
Different
okay.
dynamic.
Right.
So anyway, I
plus
hope
you don't have the Beagle Boys chasing after you.
No, come on. Well, the easiest way to stop the Beagle Boys is to just take out Ma Beagle.
That is true.
Because they'll always protect Ma Beagle. So if you kneecap her, you're good for at least 30, 40 seconds, maybe a minute.
Well, you're good for a while until Magic of Dispel comes around
That's it.
again.
Right.
Anyway,
then everything shits the bed. But anyway, so I log into my bank account earlier in the week and to pay some bills, same thing, right? And I notice a bunch of money missing. I'm like, what the fuck's going on? Right? So I noticed there's 4 reoccurring charges on my account from Xfinity.
Oh, those motherfuckers.
He starts rolling up his sleeves. Mother.
So somehow somebody opened up. No, that's wrong.
No, they opened it back up and like fuck, he's leaving.
Somebody somehow
He's gonna like our TV whether or not he likes.
signed me up for an Xfinity mobile phone.
Someone actually watches Xfinity on their mobile phone?
I guess. I don't know.
Well, 4 people we know now.
So I see all these charges from Xfinity on my, and I'm like, what the fuck? It's like almost $600. Oh, what the fuck's going on? So
I hate this place.
The first thing I do is
Nothing
I
works
call.
here.
Nothing works here. I've been here 7 years. First thing I do is I call my bank. Because I'm like, let's try to nip this in the bud. And they're like, all right, so this is what we're going to do. We're going to do, we'll put a stop payment on anything that comes through from Xfinity. And mind you, I have no Xfinity anything ever since the customer service issues. So we'll put a stop going forward, anything with Xfinity, but we can't really do much for you with the money. You have to take that up with Xfinity. So I start panicking because now I have to deal with fucking Xfinity. So I call up Xfinity. And I have
Xfinity is always the thing you see on the Wi-Fi on your phone when you're somewhere public, and you go, "Who the hell has Xfinity to use this Wi-Fi?"
So I'm purposely using the Optimum Wi-Fi just for that reason.
Just for that reason. So I call them up and I get someone on the phone and they're like, "Oh, we're so sorry. We understand how this can be frustrating to you." And I'm just like,
"It's pretty frustrating." Yes.
Yeah.
Give me my money back.
Right. And they're like, "Well, so this is what you have to do. You have to call the bank." And I'm like, "I've done that already." They're like, "All right, well, here's the phone number to our fraud department. You have to call them and they'll be able to help you out." I'm like, "Okay, no problem." So I call the fraud department and it picks up and it's like, "Hi, this is Xfinity." It's a, recording. This is Xfinity. Please enter your Xfinity phone number so that we can better assist you.
Right.
That's the only option.
Does it keep hitting 0?
So I don't have an Xfinity.
That's what I do.
So I hit 0 and it's like, "I'm sorry, we didn't understand your entry. Please try again." So I normally got to do it 2 or 3 times and it's like, "Transferring you to an operator." So I finally get to the 5 or 6 times. "We'll transfer you to an operator." Someone picks up on the other end. I say, "Hi, My name is, and click.
Oh, you're not gonna like him when he's angry.
They hung up on
They
you?
hung up on me. Now I don't know if it was disconnected,
shit.
whatever it was. So I call back and I'm like, I'm going to try to stay calm. But I'm pushing zero. I'm getting real frustrated. Person, I'm so sorry. Blah, blah, blah. Here's the phone number that you have to call. And I'm like, no, I've already gotten the phone number. They gave me your phone number. Oh no, that's the wrong number. You have to call this number. Well, can't you transfer me? No, our systems don't work that way.
Because we're
I got that with
Xfinity.
PayPal.
So I hang up with this woman. I call the next number. Now it doesn't even pick up at all. Nothing. It just rings and rings and rings and then disconnects. So I call back the other number and they're like, it looks like someone accidentally gave you a fax number. I don't know why they did that. Here's the correct number. Can you transfer me? Oh, absolutely, we can transfer you. I'm like, oh, great, because the other person told me they couldn't transfer me. Oh, that person probably just didn't want to transfer you. They couldn't figure out. He's trying to be cool with me. Ha ha, we're buds, right? And I'm like, I'm going to fucking kill you. So
You
that's
threw
what
to the
I'm
fax
thinking.
machine, sir.
Yeah. So he connects me. Someone picks up.
It's the guy.
They acknowledge me. Hi, can I get your name? Yes. Can I get your phone number? I don't have a phone number. That's the problem. Click. And they fucking hang up on me. So I am now fucking
He's standing with a torch outside Xfinity.
I'm deep breathing.
Xfinity and beyond.
At this point, Matt is a click away from turning into the Hulk.
I was so mad.
You're sweating right now telling the story.
I'm so mad because Xfinity gives me such anxiety after the
on my
last
own
time.
rage
I'll
here.
fill you in at another time what happened the first time because you weren't here for the story. But so I have such anxiety dealing with Xfinity anyway. So I finally get through to somebody. They tell me I still need to call another number. The number they give me is the fax number. And I'm like, no, that's a fucking fax machine. Like, I've gotten this number already. That's a fax machine. They're like, oh, I know that's the number we have. Hold on. They put me on hold. They connect me to somebody else. That person actually picks up. So I'm thinking, all right, I'm making progress.
Right.
Maybe you were supposed to write "fuck you" on a piece of paper and fax it to him.
Fax it to him. So now the woman tells me, oh, well, you have to take this up with your bank. And I'm like, no. Been there. Bank said you need to handle it first. They're like, oh, well, you have to go and file a police report. You have to fill out an affidavit. And I'm like,
No.
no.
This is a billing error.
No. So, it gets better. So this is what she tells me. She goes, well, let me just look up your address. Because you don't have a phone number.
You've been
let
flagged.
me look up your address.
You've been so flagged.
So she looks up my address and she goes, oh, no, you absolutely have an open Xfinity account. And I'm like, no, I don't. She's like, oh, yeah, it dates back to 2011. Now, 2011 is when I moved into my home and I opened up my Xfinity account, which I had to close less than a year and a half later.
Right.
Because of the rage issues. So
Right.
they never closed my account.
They've been charging you ever since
No,
then?
they have not been charging me ever since then, thank God.
Okay.
But because the account was still open, someone somehow was able to use the fact that there was an open account to sign me up for something. So I say to the woman, there's absolutely no way. Like, there's no way. You haven't been billing me.
Right.
Like, this started only a few months ago. I missed the first two because they were smaller amounts. This was a big hit, and it popped. I'm like, so, no way. So I'm like, tell me this. If my account had been closed properly, would someone have been able to do this? And it just goes silent. Nothing. And she's like, well, I mean,
click.
I can't really. No, I give her credit. She did not hang up on me.
Or maybe it was just heavy breathing because she was getting off on it.
No, I give her credit. She did not hang up on me, but I caught her in that oh shit moment where I think she realized the account probably should have been closed and wasn't. And it was a huge fuck up on their end.
And that's a lawsuit.
That's a big lawsuit if it doesn't go well. So she finally says, I'm going to send you the paperwork that you need to file the affidavit and the police report. I'm like, how are you sending it? Well, I'm going to email it to you. It'll come to you in a few moments.
To your Xfinity
Here's
account.
the phone number that you can call back if you don't get it. No. You're going to mail it now while I'm on the phone. I'm going to wait for you. When the email comes through, then we can end the call. Okay, that's fine. She sends the email. We're sitting there. Now she's trying to make small talk with me. I'm not interested. The email doesn't come through.
Right.
Another minute goes by. The email doesn't come through. I'm like, the email's not coming through. It's a Gmail account. Shit comes through right away. This isn't fucking Outlook where everything has to go through a push server. Shit comes through right away. She's like, oh, hold on, let me look. And she goes, what's the address again? And I spell out my email address again. She goes, oh, I made a typo.
You're so mad.
I'm so mad.
Now, is this a foreign voice and her name is Mary?
No. She was.
I'm so sorry.
No. She sounded like she may have been a resident of like Irvington or something, but she was definitely American.
I get you.
So finally the email comes through, and I hang up and I'm like, no, I can't. Like I can't trust Xfinity to do anything right. So luckily the only good part about the end of the story was I called up Bank of America. And because that's my banking institution, and they apparently have fixed it in some way, shape, or form. They have filed disputes with everything.
Right.
They credited me back all my money, at least temporarily. But when I told the guy that the problem was Xfinity, he started laughing. Which tells me
we get that a lot.
Yeah, which tells me they have problems.
Anytime
with Xfinity.
you've been on the phone with somebody else and mentioned Xfinity, they laugh at you.
Yeah, but I mean, I feel
it's like when Homer turned on the television. He's like, at least television won't laugh.
Yeah,
I mean, the guy's pointing and laughing.
But I just feel like I'm going to be haunted by Xfinity for all of my days. But now it's happened to Giddles, it happened to E-Rock, it happened to me. So whether or not you have money, someone might try to take what you don't have.
Xfinity might be your Slender Man.
And they're my Slender Man.
But like the way like Xfinity gave you the runaround, like reminded me of that South Park episode with the timeshare, and every time they try and leave, they just get like, oh no, you haven't seen this yet. It's like, no, I just want to cancel my account. How do I get out of here?
It's like trying to cancel an AOL account.
Yeah.
But, so
I just got a refund on my account.
There you go.
Hey, way to go, Lowe's. Thanks. That only took a day.
Nice.
Lowe's Hardware. Good for you.
So beware, Trevor. That's the
I got the opposite. I just got money.
So as a little tease
for now, until someone tries to take
in the next couple of weeks, we await
everyone that listens to the show is now just going to attack my bank account.
Yeah, we await Trevor's inevitable financial ruin.
That's it. It's coming.
It's coming. All right, let's take a break. When we come back, we do some TV and movie stuff, and then get out of here for this week. One thing I do want to plug is the eBay account is open for the show. For some reason, they wouldn't let me use the name It's Erik Nagel. I don't know why.
Same guy who has your Snapchat.
But it's just regular Erik Nagel, ErikNagel. You can find the account up there. It's got a handful of stuff up there right now, just to start off slow and see if this is
please
worth
help
doing
fund
it or not.
our trip to Sky Zone.
Yes. Well, when you put it that way,
and the ensuing medical bills.
Yeah. So we got a video server that we're trying to get up and running so we can start doing the visual elements of this show.
Ooh, are we going to do it on the Twitch? Is that what we're talking about?
Twitch, or I think Twitch is the one that wants to make the deal with us. So we'll talk to them and see if we can get that sorted out. But anyway, look on for Erik Nagel on eBay. We'll tweet it out on our social media. For some reason, when you first put it up, it wasn't showing up in the searches.
It takes a little bit sometimes.
So once they show up in the searches, then I'll post it out on all our social media, and then you can help us out if you feel.
Well, if you have a link, you can post the link now because the link will work. The link should work. The search won't work.
Oh,
don't make the host look stupid.
No, I went to the went to the link and it didn't show any of the auctions in there.
Oh, that's weird.
But if you dug through the account personally, you see the auction.
Oh, that's
so
weird.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a whole weird thing. So check that out and help us out if you can. If you don't want to, then that's up to you, and you have to live with your decision. When we come back, we're going to talk about some TV and movie stuff. All right, we'll be right back.
It's Erik Nagel with Eric, Matt, and Giddles. Back right after this.
Attention. Shameless social media plug.
It's Erik Nagel is on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and reluctantly, Snapchat. So follow, like, and subscribe.
Would you kindly?
Hi, this is AJ Mendez-Brooks, and you're listening to It's Erik Nagel.
Welcome back to It's Erik Nagel. That's me, Matt O.G., Giddles, Trevor. Hooray. And based on this music, I'm guessing Ric Flair is entering the room.
Yeah.
For WrestleMania 34 weekend. No, we're playing this music because it's the 50th anniversary of one of the greatest movies of all time, 2001, A Space Odyssey.
Yeah, man.
The Stanley Kubrick classic. I need to go back and rewatch this movie because when I was reading about it being the 50th anniversary, I posted that I said, I need to go rewatch this because I still don't understand the last quarter of this movie. And everybody else wrote back and was like, we still don't understand the last quarter of that movie. But it's so good. A lot of infamous music that was used in here. Also royalty-free music that he used in there, but became so associated to this movie. Like when you see the space station and the music goes dun, 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 like you know that piece of classical music, but it became really infamous because it was used in this movie here. Same with the opening for 2001: A Space Odyssey with the monolith and the monkeys smashing bones and showing the evolution of man. And
spoiler.
Yeah, well, get with the times, my friend. That movie was 17 years ago.
17 years ago.
Yeah. Jinx, you owe me a Coke. So if you haven't seen it, go out and definitely check it out. But I don't get the ending, but the movie visually for the time when it came out, it was what, late 70s when that came out? Mid to late 70s?
Like 50
well,
years ago.
if it celebrates 50 years this year, do the math.
Yeah, math is hard. When it came out,
Cross
for the
accountant
time, the special effects and everything they did were way ahead of its time. And Kubrick was also known as being a person who tortured all his actors in every movie because he made them do all their scenes over and over. None more famous than Shelley Duvall in The Shining, because somebody said, I think he just hated her. And that's why he drove her crazy by doing it. What was it, 137 times that she had to redo her scenes over and over. So if you haven't seen it, if you're one of them millennials, you should definitely check it out. It's an important movie for a lot of different reasons. It influenced a lot of people.
Sure.
It also changed the way that I think sci-fi and space movies were viewed and done from that point on. You know, you used to see stuff before that, and there was all like shitty model rockets, and you know, there wasn't really any reality to a lot of space stuff. And I think that was the first one that where you look at it, like when the computer cuts off the oxygen supply and shoots the guy out of the hangar into space. That's a realistic situation. You know, you didn't have fishbowl helmets, you know, and then you're walking on the side of the rocket or the planet. You know, this showed you what really could happen if shit goes wrong. And I can't say enough good things about this movie.
It's a classic.
What did you get about the ending? It's got like Sean Connery, and he's in the wedding dress, and then he gets older, and then he's like a skeleton wearing the wedding dress.
Sean Connery.
Oh, that's Zardoz. Sorry.
It's so easy to get those two confused.
I'm not gonna lie. I was like, I haven't seen this movie. I know there's a guy I think named Dave in it, but if that's the ending, I would have watched it sooner.
Looking at the box office, like we said, Ready Player One came out number one, $41.2 million. Number two, Tyler Perry. No matter what he does, I've never seen a single project.
I've never seen a Medea
always makes
anything.
Money. Yeah. Or whatever the Boo movies.
That was the Medea Boo Halloween special was like his best movie ever.
It's always Medea though, right? He doesn't do anything outside of Medea.
No, he does some other like Why Did I Get Married, and then Why Did I Get Married Too?
Doesn't Medea show up in those?
But no, Kevin Hart.
Oh, same thing.
Tyler Perry's new movie comes in at number 2 for its debut. Number 3, Black Panther, still holding strong, which made another $11 million. Somebody, one of the articles I read said that by Saturday, their estimates is that it's going to beat Titanic.
Yes.
By this Saturday, at the time that we're recording here, which is amazing. It's the 10th highest grossing film of all time.
Yeah.
And it's still got a way to go because you still got when they release it on demand, Blu-ray, DVD.
Oh, sure.
All that stuff is going to be factored in. Number 4, I Can Only Imagine. I don't even remember what that is.
He sings.
But here's what's troubling. Number 5, it debuted at number 1 last week. It's number 5 now for Pacific Rim Uprising. It dropped that much.
I mean,
it was like Tomb Raider was hit 2, and then like I think it's like 8 this week.
Yeah.
And it's only been out for 2 weeks.
You got a lot of competition out there. Yeah. I don't think it was as well received as they had hoped. It was okay, but I don't think it was as well received as they had hoped.
Because again, my complaint was they didn't bring back the original characters. You know, they could have done if they could get Idris Elba, but he's in everything right now.
No,
you know, as a flashback, because I know he died in the first one.
Yeah.
You know, they could still flash back to him. Ron Perlman's still alive in the franchise.
No, he died in the first one too, didn't he?
No, we talked about it last time. Apparently, he at the very end he cuts himself out of the kaiju.
That's right.
But I don't remember.
No, you're right. Yeah, he got himself out.
So they didn't bring any of anybody back
Hunnam?
that you would recognize. No, well, Charlie Day is still there.
Charlie Day, he was the comic relief, but Charlie Hunnam.
Oh, right, Charlie Hunnam. Sorry. Yeah. So there is all that. Opening this week is A Quiet Place, like we said, and the Chappaquiddick movie. I actually want to see.
Yes.
I've been also following the. Have you seen this Kennedy special that they've been doing on CNN the last few weeks?
No. The wife's watching it. She likes it.
Yeah, they really break everything down about the Kennedy family, like everything that happened before John Kennedy became president.
I have to be honest with you, that stuff for the most part just.
What, history? Yeah, I'm over it. Happened.
No, it's not even history. There are some historical things that I like, but
you just don't care about that.
No, not even a little.
I found it by accident.
I don't really care.
I found it by accident, and I actually watched it because I knew nothing about the dad.
Right.
You know, I knew about John and Robert, but I didn't know how much it stemmed from the dad. And this showed about the dad's grandparents coming over from Ireland, and then building up to the dad's storyline, and then going to the Kennedy kids and everything. So I was like, oh, wow, it's like all the prequel stuff that you never saw from the original franchise.
I mean, I'm at the point in my life right now where if you want me to get want to get me to watch something history related on TV, you have to get a comedian drunk to do it. Like that's drunk history is my go-to.
There you go.
For history at this point. That's it.
Well, the rest of the month is going to be good for movies because next week is Rampage. The week after that is Solo?
Yeah. Rampage is going to do, I'm predicting that is going to do abysmal.
Really?
I'm going to go see that.
It is going to shit the bed.
That's going to be so good.
I'm not in any rush to see that at all. I think that the one movie that might do well is the one that you're excited to see this month, Truth or Dare.
No, I'm not watching that movie, which comes out on the 13th.
Yeah, I can't.
Super Troopers 2 I'm going to see.
Yes, absolutely. I'll be first in line.
When is that?
April 20th.
Yeah.
All right. So
of course
20.
it is.
Yeah, that's the whole point. Yeah.
So Rampage next week, then Super Troopers the week after. When is Deadpool? Is that May?
That's May.
That's May.
Okay, so that's not in there. So because
18th.
You got Solo. Wow, Super Troopers is coming out at the same time as Solo.
Is it coming out?
Does Solo come out before? No, Solo. Does Solo come out before Infinity War? Because Infinity War.
I thought Solo. No, they. They pushed Infinity War ahead a week of Solo.
Oh, okay.
So it's going to go Super Troopers 2,
Yeah.
Infinity War, Solo, Deadpool.
There you go.
Because I bought my ticket, like I said, off Fandango when they announced the trailer drop.
Fandango.
You're still not going to go and see it.
No, I am, but here's the problem.
Potholes?
So no, when I printed out my tickets, it printed out my Infinity Wars ticket. So now I got to hold on to this thing for about a month, hoping that I don't lose it.
Didn't they just send you the email?
Yeah, don't you have the Apple Wallet? It goes right in your
Eric,
Apple
you should
Wallet.
just never go to the movies.
I did it on the little kiosk at the movie
movies.
theater to print out my tickets, and it prints out the receipt, your Stubbs reward thing for AMC, and all that stuff. And I'm looking through, I'm like, why do I have 2 movie tickets? And I'm like, oh my god, it's my Infinity War ticket.
I buy
suck at this.
I buy everything through the AMC app. It's just
I buy it
easier.
through Fandango.
I buy it through the Fandango app. Goes right in my Apple Wallet. Boop.
But I have an AMC Stubbs card, so everything just goes through AMC. It's just easy.
I don't have an AMC near me. That's
Yeah.
All right.
I have Movie Pass, so I just show up at the theater and just go in for free.
Don't
Whatever,
you know who
fancy.
I'm a limo driver.
We mentioned Deadpool 2. There's been a buzz about the cameo that they went back to film one more scene or something.
It's not gonna be Hugh Jackman.
Do you think it's going to be Nick Fury
No.
or
It's gonna
Tony
be- it's gonna be
Stark?
Howard the Duck.
I don't think it's gonna be any of those.
No.
No. First of all, I don't. Unless that.
What about Patrick Stewart?
Unless they're.
He's technically in that universe.
It could be Patrick Stewart. Unless they're using. It could be Jean Grey.
Wait, Patrick Stewart's died twice.
Yeah, but Deadpool's not in the same time period as Old Man Logan.
But then didn't he die in
He died in
X3
Logan.
too? When he
No,
when it
he's still
explodes?
alive.
When the Phoenix, doesn't she explode him?
Yes, except that remember with
3 got erased.
With Days of Future Past.
It erased all of
Everything going forward has been erased.
Okay.
Since Logan,
Did we just tell you there's no Santa?
since Logan came
I'm
out,
just so pissed off at the X universe.
since Logan came out after
Everyone
Days of
is.
Future Past, you can assume that is chronologically still okay, but everything else has been reset.
All right.
So that being said,
I get it. I'm just now.
I don't know. I don't think it'll be any MCU character because the the Fox Disney deal is not, unless they're using that movie to announce the deal, which I don't think they are. And I don't.
Or it could be alone.
What do you
And the
mean
reason
it's
why
alone?
it could be alone because remember how they Sony and Disney had the loan thing before their deal. They announced that Spider-Man was joining before the Sony deal was done. Remember?
No, that's kind of how they announced the deal. Was with Spider-Man.
Was because of the loan?
Yeah.
Okay. the end of Deadpool 1 when he's doing the Ferris Bueller shower scene and he's with the bathrobe. Remember he mentions Cable and everything, but he talks about Nick Fury. He talks about Sam Jackson as Nick Fury. So I'm wondering.
Does he?
Yeah, he does.
I don't remember that. I only remember the Cable nod.
So I was wondering if it was that. Everyone thought it was going to be Hugh Jackman, but that seems a bit far-fetched because he doesn't want to be Wolverine
He doesn't
anymore.
want to be Wolverine anymore. I don't think so.
Patrick Stewart makes a lot more sense because he's in that universe that Fox owns. The Nick Fury thing was something interesting because I just rewatched Deadpool, and when I saw that I was like,
Nick Fury?
He says Sam Jackson, and he's describing Nick Fury, but he's like, you think Sam Jackson's going to show up in the next movie or something like that?
Oh, yeah, okay. Yes, but I think that was more of a. He didn't say Nick Fury. I think he said
Sam Jackson.
He said Sam Jackson,
but he was describing Nick Fury.
But I think that was. I think he probably wasn't allowed to say Nick Fury. I think that was a poke at Marvel doing the spoilers.
Yeah.
I don't think
sure
that was.
For the first movie. But now with this going on, that might. Who knows?
That's probably what this is. It's probably just going to be a poke again at one of those things.
Yeah,
I'd say it could be an X-Men.
Would that be a huge ordeal? Would that be like a mind-blowing thing if a Disney Marvel shows up in there?
Well, I mean, it would only be a huge mind-blowing deal if it actually confirmed somehow
the deal being done.
I mean,
what else does Fox have?
X-Men and Fantastic Four. So I was gonna say, so maybe it's like Reed Richards.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I could see that.
Yeah,
maybe this is their attempt at rebooting the Fantastic Four.
Could be.
I don't know.
All right,
but I don't think it's going to be a Disney character unless they plan on announcing the deal through that movie, which that seems odd to me.
Some other TV news. Steven Bochco died. You know who he is? Legendary television creator. Created a lot of the shows that our parents watched.
Did he create Cop Rock?
He did.
He did.
Oh my God!
Created a lot of the shows that our parents watched in the 80s, like Hill Street Blues and like Gittle's favorite show, Cop Rock. Doogie Howser, MD, so he created. L.A. Law,
NYPD
Blue,
which
is probably his biggest show.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he was
but you can't also forget Cop Rock.
Yes. And that's the main reason I brought this up.
But he developed those certain shots where like you were like really up close and in the face and like the whole like shaking,
singing and dancing.
It's the main reason I brought this up because I know Gittles was very determined to get a reboot or revival of Cop Rock, and now it doesn't look like it's ever going to happen.
Not gonna work.
Or maybe it'll be easier now. Maybe he was holding the reins back because he was so embarrassed by it. Maybe now we'll get a Cop Rock reboot.
Maybe Disney gets the rights to Cop Rock.
Oh my God! Please, I want to see I want to see someone singing "Baby Merchant" on ABC. Oh, it'd be so hilarious. And if you don't believe me, Google that shit. Go on YouTube and type in Cop Rock Baby Merchant, and you'll see a guy singing a song about selling babies to two people who look like Mulder and Scully. It's fucking great.
A couple other things. Did you get a chance to see the new Roseanne?
No. Honestly, no.
It's doing pretty good.
That's fine. I don't know that I'm going to watch it.
After the week of DVR and catching up, it initially aired at 18 million viewers, and then at the end, it's like the biggest. Now it's 25.
Yeah,
it's the biggest television comedy right now on television. I said television twice.
Yes, you did.
It's the biggest comedy on television right now, currently. Jay-Z's going to appear on the new David Letterman episode on April 6th on Netflix, which is definitely something you should check out. Something that you shouldn't check out, but I know a lot of people will. I didn't realize they were bringing back the Jersey Shore.
Yes, I heard about this.
Jersey Shore Vacation starts tonight on MTV.
Tuesday. Yeah.
Ew.
Ooh.
Go back to Double Q.
Trebs and Devs. Go back to the Jersey Shore.
I love that it's back.
Really?
Why?
Because I get to play Fortnite uninterrupted for an hour. The wife is obsessed with the Jersey Shore. If there's a Jersey Shore marathon on, I can do whatever I want for the whole day. I love it.
Trevor's like,
wait, so is it original cast or is it new people who all
It's everyone except Sammy. Sammy doesn't want to be known as Sammy's sweetheart anymore. She doesn't want to, I have to hear this shit constantly.
She didn't come back.
Yeah, she didn't want to.
Well, she didn't come back not just because of that, because the guy beat her up while they were dating. He's back on the show, and she wants nothing to do with him.
Yeah, Ron had his baby today.
I can just picture it now. It's he's like, you're watching another goddamn Jersey Shore marathon. Fine, I'm going out to dinner with someone who appreciates me. Oksana.
Give me a hand with this.
Dude, if you don't use her for what she's intended for, I found another use for her.
Oh, no.
Perfect practicing for hiding a dead body.
Your Netflix.
Wow.
The practice your Netflix and chill. Matt's favorite shows on the CW all got picked up for another season.
Yeah.
So they'll be back next year. Are you
Not
still
gonna-
you're gonna give Legends a chance with Constantine on
Only
it?
because Constantine's going to be a regular unless they bring the Darks back as the big villain.
No. We told you about that last time.
DAHRK.
One other thing I want to point out too is I found this on Netflix. I'm
That's
a big
racist.
fan of the Stephen King the story, The Mist. The movie was great. I love the movie. So
Movie was
apparently there was
awesome.
a TV show that was on
FX.
Spike.
Oh,
Yeah, last year.
I didn't know that. I saw it
We
on Netflix.
talked about it.
yeah.
All right, maybe I forgot about
We
it.
mentioned it, but
I
we never,
forgot
I
to
never
watch
saw
it,
Yeah.
and I just plowed through the 10 episodes,
Any
of it,
good?
and I loved it.
Yeah.
I thought it was great. And then I'm like, oh, I wonder when season 2 is coming out. Canceled.
Yeah.
So it was canceled back in September, and now I can only hope somebody else picks it up. But I enjoyed it. I thought it was really good. It's still on Netflix. If you like the movie, if you like the story, give it a shot, and I think you might find this that you like that one as well.
Will it be missed?
And with that, the music is running, and we should get out of here and do the plugs.
Yeah, man.
Matt OG, what do you got?
I guess for myself, you can find me on social media at Geek Stuff OG. New episodes of Geek Stuff go online every Thursday, unless, of course, you are part of our Patreon, that you get them a couple minutes early. And I'm just going to toss this out there to the listeners of It's Erik Nagel.
Oh, don't you have a big reveal
I do?
of last week's winner?
Oh, I do. Last week's winner is fucking no one. How about that? So listen.
Angry Matt.
You know, we do these things. We do them during the break. Why do we do them during the break? Because we hate you, and we want you to listen to the entire show. Listen to the fucking breaks if you want a chance to win something. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, if you missed it, you had a chance to win a signed copy of Pacific Rim from Ron Perlman.
Of D's Nuts.
Right. And
You
there was
fucked
no
it up.
winner.
No winner. That's
Maybe
it.
we'll try again this week.
There you go.
Anything else, Matt, you want to promote?
Nah.
That's everything?
Yeah, that's it. I don't want to get too political.
Giddles, what do you have?
Nothing. I feel pretty healthy.
All right. Trevor, what do you have?
BTG Trevor on the Twitter. BTG Rocks on Xbox Live. Fortnite is now doing version 2 of Only Explosives this weekend, so it's just a bunch of guided rockets. And
Well, that sounds interesting.
it is, and it's also fun. And that's all I got. I have a boring life this week.
All right. For me, it's E-Rock Radio across the board, social media. But for the show, it's Erik Nagel across the board on social media. Download us wherever shows and podcasts can be found. Try to do the iHeart app or Spotify. That does help us out.
Do love the iHeart app.
Also, look for our social media. We'll have the post for the eBay stuff that we've got going on right now to raise some money to upgrade our studio and a couple of other little things here and there that will help out the program. So it's a few little O&A items that I think people would like, and if that does well, maybe I'll put a handful more of stuff up there and see what we can do with that. Any help would be appreciated. We're not millionaires. We're damaged but talented, and we are trying to fund this whole operation ourselves.
We're on the verge of dimares.
I've owned this
where we
hoodie
are.
for 7 years.
Yeah.
So please help us out if you can. I think that's it, right?
That's it, as far as I know.
We will be back next week. I think after next, it won't be on next week's show. It'll be on the show after that. We're supposed to be doing something with Comic Book Men.
Oh,
Yay.
Got to go down to Red Bank to the Secret
Nice.
Stash and talk to our pals down there. So probably in 2 weeks you'll hear all that of what we do.
My wife works across the street. We can get lunch.
Does she?
Yeah.
She work at that music shop?
No, we just sold some records there at the bank on the corner.
Oh, okay.
She makes the money. I'm
You're going to
here.
flood the fan base by going down to the bank looking for Mrs. Endeavor.
And
All
Devs.
Jeebus.
Yeah, make sure to vote.
Lady and Devs. All right, until next time, be seeing you.
It's Erik Nagel. And that's all the time we have. Follow the show at It's Erik Nagel on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. Unless we do something stupid or something better comes along. We'll be back next time.